How do you go from being one of the most beloved figures on daytime television to the center of one of the most unsettling workplace scandals in Hollywood? Ellen DeGeneres built an empire on kindness, laughter, and that unforgettable dance across the stage. But today, her legacy faces cracks that grow wider with every new revelation. For years, fans believed they knew who Ellen was. Then came allegations that painted a completely different picture. Just when the dust seemed to settle, new testimonies have reignited the storm, and the details are darker than anyone expected. Stay with me, because the journey through Ellen's toxic workplace saga is not just about what happened in the past. It is about what these fresh bombshells reveal about power, image, and the thin line between performance and reality. To understand why these new claims hit so hard, we have to rewind to the height of Ellen's career. Her talk show was marketed as a safe space where celebrities could let loose, and audiences at home could laugh away the stress of daily life. The mantra was simple: be kind. For nearly 2 decades, that phrase became synonymous with Ellen herself. But behind the glossy set, some staffers describe an environment that was anything but kind. In 2020, former employees revealed experiences of intimidation, racial insensitivity, and fear. The allegations stunned viewers who had built trust in her brand. Ellen delivered a public apology.
And if I've ever let someone down, if I've ever hurt their feelings, I am so sorry for that.
3 top producers were removed, and the show continued until 2022. Many thought that marked the end of the story. Fast forward to 2025, and new voices have emerged. Former insiders are stepping forward with accounts that go beyond what was shared before. One ex-cameraman describes what he calls the Ellen gaze, a look so sharp that it could freeze a room. According to him, staffers avoided casual interactions with Ellen's wife, Portia de Rossi, out of fear that even small conversations might spark Ellen's anger. What makes the latest round of allegations especially disturbing are the moments where personal lives were sacrificed for the sake of the show. One former senior producer revealed that they were pressured to reschedule their child's bone marrow transplant so a holiday episode could be taped without disruption. Think about that. A life-saving procedure pushed aside for the sake of content. That story does not just paint a toxic workplace. It suggests a system where loyalty to production overshadowed basic humanity. Even high-profile celebrities, it turns out, were not immune to Ellen's wrath. Gordon Ramsay, known worldwide for his own fiery temper, reportedly made the mistake of mocking food during a cooking segment. That single act of banter, insiders claim, earned him a ban from returning to the show for years. This anecdote underscores the imbalance of power behind the curtain. It was not only junior staffers who faced the pressure. The environment shaped how guests behaved too, making everyone tread carefully around the host who built her reputation on being approachable. The claims gain even more weight when other public figures recall their experiences. Comedian Adam Carolla recounted his time as a guest in 2012, saying the staff seemed scared to death. Producers reportedly pulled him aside to ensure he would not mention meat, reflecting Ellen's well-known vegan lifestyle. Writers from the show also added their voices. Greg Fitzsimmons, a former staff writer, described Ellen as a control freak. He remembered hallways filled with tears as the pressure of working on the program became overwhelming. What struck him most was the transformation. In the early days, the show was lighthearted, almost family-like. But once the spotlight grew brighter and the brand became global, the culture shifted. The question is, where is Ellen now? Since the end of the show in 2022, she and Portia de Rossi relocated to the English countryside. Friends say they wanted peace, animals, and a slower pace of life after years of Hollywood intensity. In rare interviews, Ellen has admitted she may never return to television. Well, Ellen DeGeneres is no ordinary celebrity. She was a trailblazer who broke barriers when she came out on national television in the 1990s. But the contrast between her public image and the private accounts of her staff reveals how carefully constructed personas can unravel. So why does this story matter years after the show ended? Because it highlights the power imbalance between public figures and the teams that support them. A celebrity can shape narratives with a smile on camera, while those behind the scenes carry the weight of unspoken truths. In Ellen's case, the gap between image and reality was so wide that it shook public trust. These new claims remind us that workplace culture matters, even in industries designed to entertain. Perhaps the most important part of these fresh revelations is not Ellen's name itself, but the bravery of those who decided to speak out after years of silence. In Hollywood, careers often depend on connections. Fear of losing work kept many quiet. But as more former employees and guests share their accounts, a collective voice emerges, making it harder to dismiss the claims as isolated grievances. This story is not simply about Ellen DeGeneres. It is about how we treat kindness as a brand rather than a practice. It is about how corporations profit from an image without checking the reality behind it. For audiences, it is a reminder to look beyond the stage lights. For celebrities, it is a warning that performance cannot cover truth forever. So here we are, years after Ellen danced her last dance on daytime television, facing a saga that refuses to fade away. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Ellen deserves a second chance? Or have these revelations permanently changed how we see her? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this deep dive helped you understand the full story, hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe so you never miss the next breakdown of the stories that shape culture. Because in the end, this isn't just about one talk show host. It is about the difference between the image we buy into and the reality that eventually finds its way to the surface.
Ellen we see on TV compared to the Ellen you saw when the camera stopped rolling?
Totally different. She would only speak to the audience when the cameras were rolling. As soon as they turned the cameras off, she would not even acknowledge the audience. She would just sit on the couch, basically.